Okay, the church bells are ringing. That must mean it's 5:54.
Oh, oh, oh.
Welcome to Salzburg.
Birthplace of Mozart, and origin of the confectionery named after his balls. Filming location for The Sound of Music, which is a big deal, I guess. Center of Austria, in the sense that if you drew the smallest circle possible that captured all of the country's weird borders, Salzburg would be right in the middle of that circle. Puppet hell. Truly, Salzburg has it all.
Okay, but how do I get over there? Oh, I see you, Salzburg. I mean, it'd be better to inconvenience the cars by making them go around, but tunnels are cool. So, I'll take it. Plus, we get art. Ta-da!
Also, maybe Red Bull comes from here? Or has something to do with it? But more on bulls and their various colors later. The important thing is that Salzburg is home to Hohensalzburg Fortress. Pause for fountain noises. Okay, unpause, which will be the primary focus of this video. Though it must be said, so I will say it now, that Salzburg and the fortress that sits at the heart of it are inextricably linked in a way that makes it hard to talk about one without the other. Simply put, Salzburg is one of the best places I've ever had the pleasure to walk around in. As a city, it's kind of like a cross between Vienna and Tom Sawyer Island. Around every corner is a call to adventure. Cool statues, fountains, Baroque architecture, rivers, bridges, tunnels, stairs that lead to paths or observation decks, cows, ghosts, churches, maybe even a water wheel. Who knows?
I know. And I'm here to share that knowledge with you. I'm Eric, the channel is Aggressive Rolling, and this is Fortress Hohensalzburg. Is it cool? Would I share something with you that wasn't cool? I would, actually. Sometimes I just like to complain about things. Let's see which one this is.
Hey look, a water wheel. And what's that track on the side of the mountain? I bet you thought there weren't going to be any rides in this video, but you were oh so wrong. Don't you feel silly now? I don't know how religious the citizens of Salzburg are, but there's at least one church that won't let you hear the end of it. Pretty nice view of the city from here, but we can still go higher.
Alright, I think we're going to start with a panorama tour in case the weather gets worse. Then we'll go inside. I reckon this was the old entrance. Now you need a ticket. And then up the stairs to the panorama tour.
In the fortress, there's a recreation of the city, and the fortress, made out of salt, which seems pretty random until you realize that Salzburg literally translates as Salt Fortress. So we're in the salt recreation of the Salt Fortress, in the Salt Fortress fortress in the city of Salt Fortress. Yay!
Not alarming.
The fortress courtyards and ramparts are free to visit, but the indoor parts, various individual museums, the funicular, and the highest observation tower all have admission fees, which you can pick and choose between or buy an all-inclusive ticket for. But don't worry, I wouldn't take you guys on the cheap tour. It's first class all the way for us. I'll even carry you up all these stairs. I'm nice like that.
Never conquered, but scared of ghosts.
There's a whole cockamamie story. Cockamamie? Cock and bull? Cock and bull might be better. You'll see why. There's a whole cock and bull story about how the fortress was under siege and was down to one bull, so they kept painting it a different color and trotting it out for their enemies, so it looked like they had lots of different bulls and thus lots of food left. I'm a bit skeptical as to the veracity of this story, however, especially after the never conquered claim, because I'm pretty sure Austria is 0 for 2 when it comes to world wars.
Cow. No cow. Different cow. No cow.
Speaking of bulls, the music you're hearing is from the Salzburger Steer, a 500-year-old Gothic pipe organ that allegedly sounds like the bellowing of a bull, though I think Salzburgians might just have cows on the brain. It was designed to signal the opening and closing of the town gates, but now just functions mainly as a way to teach people what bulls don't sound like. This is the toy version, and this is the real one. But you can't play the real one, and there's nothing wrong with toys, don't be judgy. Hohensalzburg Fortress sits atop Festungsberg Mountain at a height of 250 bulls. It was built in the year 1077 to honor Gebhard von Helfenstein's favorite cow, Tanya, and its tradition to search for her ghost while wandering the grounds.
Tanya? Hallo, Tanya?
Tanya loved the sound of her own bell, and that's why the town of Salzburg has a law that at least one set of church bells must be audible at the fortress at all times. The Armory Museum looks like what would happen if Apple decided to start selling medieval weapons instead of iPhones. I have to admit there's a certain appeal to it, though. Plus, there's a maze game and an interactive exhibit where you can cosplay as a gay knight.
Uncanny. Man, they really like bulls here.
Whatever. It's not like it's made of salt.
I think I found another secret room. Unmarked. Opposite from what's listed as the entrance.
There don't seem to be any axolotls, though. Looking at past people stuff tends to make me philosophical, especially when I see, like, the bed of a king or some such, and all I can think is how uncomfortable it looks. The camera I filmed this with represents more wealth than the richest man in the world of this time could imagine, in the sense that he couldn't buy it with any amount of money, and I used a credit card. I'm visiting Austria from a place they didn't even know existed, and they basically lived in their own doo-doo, and I wash my hands twice every time I touch a doorknob. Which is not to say that my life is problem-free. My hands do get rather dry from all that hand washing, but it's still probably better than painting cows all day. Do 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 do. In the fortress's old cellars lurks a marionette museum, and while it's better than the Bells, it's still unquestionably horrifying. But I did a quick internet search to see if puppets were a thing in Salzburg, and I can't really recommend doing that. There's a spooky photo opportunity as well that you can hear all throughout the exhibit. So while I still don't have any idea why it's here, if you're looking for a dark screaming Austrian puppet dungeon, this is as good as any. The fortress also has a full-service restaurant, where you can, and I quote, dine like a burgravine and Prince Archbishop. I had the spaghetti. It was pretty good, and the views were nice.
Unfortunately, I didn't take any video of it.
But if it helps, I did take some footage of a restaurant down in Salzburg that I ate at like 3 times. See if you can figure out why. I took the funicular up, and while I could have taken that back down, it seemed more interesting and adventurous to take the long walk.
Just a little bit steep.
And why stop at the bottom when we can go back up? Pretty far from the fortress now. And here's another one.
Just a statue over in the bushes. Don't worry about it. The hills are alive with the sound of wheezing.
Oh, 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 oh,
Der Schein, der wohnt uns nah und bei. Also geht's noch meine Gedanken.